Good evening, folks. Thank you for coming out tonight to Sutton High School Drama Club's production of Humbletown, the greatest town on earth. We appreciate you taking time out of your schedule, and of course, if my sources are correct, to all the students who are backstage and out there. I understand you get to sleep in the morning, so that'll be a bonus. So with that said, there's nothing wrong with you expending your energy cheering and clapping and applauding, and not me, them, and laughing throughout this. With the playbill that you have in front of you, do yourself a favor. Hopefully you looked at it beforehand. Don't bother looking at it during the show. There are over 130 different characters in the show. Just do your best to try and keep track. We do the same thing. We want to say thank you to the administration of our school. We want to thank Mr. Friend and Mr. McCarthy and Mr. DeLongchamp. We want to thank Mr. Goyette down in the middle school. We want to thank Mr. Raymond and all of his crew who keep this place looking nice and running. There are far too many people to thank, and I know I will miss somebody if I keep going. So if I missed you, my apologies and regrets. Thank you very much once again for coming out. Do us a couple of favors. We are not selling snacks tonight because there's a basketball game going on and there was just far too much activity out there to try and keep track of all that. So if you're coming back tomorrow, we'll try and have something out there. We do have bottled water for sale if you would like that. It's $1 during the intermission. And I think one of our cast members will be out there to sell it to you. And I think during the first part of this play, you'll figure out who the water salesperson during halftime, this isn't a sporting event. Sorry, my apologies. During intermission will be. You'll figure that out. And if you don't, just look for the guy selling water. Also, we try to be environmental around here. Please recycle your water bottles. And also with tonight's playbill, not knowing how big a how big a audience we would have, I only printed up so many just because I hate to waste paper. If you aren't going to save yours, please just lay it on the table on your way out. We will reuse them. Or if you just know that one of our cast members is going to be really famous someday and you can sell it on eBay, get them to sign it and keep it. Otherwise, if you're not, just leave it on the way outside, okay? With that, I think we're all done, and the only reason that I'm using a microphone is we're just using this to make sure that the audio feed for our video is ready to go, and this is all the more I'm going to use it. So with that said, I'm leaving the stage and bringing the more talented people out. So please put your hands together and enjoy Humbletown, the greatest town on earth.
Oh, hello there. I didn't see you. You must have snuck in when I wasn't looking. I'm just joshing you. Around these parts, I'm referred to as a jokester. Fair warning, there might be some giggles coming your way. Now, let's get down to business. Where are we? How? And why? I know you didn't ask, but I'm just going to do this play now, okay? And you better shut your pie hole, because I've got 4 brothers, and each one of them weighs 300 pounds, and they're a violent, angry bunch of Norwegians, so you better just shut your pie hole, okay? Anywho, where are we? Nowhere special. Just a little town called Los Angeles. I'm joking again. We are in a little place called Humbletown. Nice town. Nice folks in it. If you're a stranger, they're going to smile, and they're going to wave, and some of them might even hug you real close. We don't think a lot about personal space here in Humbletown. That's what we like to call highfalutin. Let's see. What else do you need to know? We've got gypsum deposits in the rock formations nearby. I don't know what gypsum is, but I'm sure someone else does. Anywho, I did have a whole piece on rock formations, but you probably don't care about rock formations. Let it go, Liz. Anywho, where are we? Humbletown. And why? Because it's the greatest town on earth. Why, you may ask? Well, if you lined up every single town in the universe, Humbletown would be so much bigger and better than all the other towns, it would tear out their hearts and eat them for breakfast with salsa, because that's how Humbletown rolls. Where was I? How it came to be? Funny you should ask. It was the Civil War, 18-something, in the middle. And the Empire was winning thanks to their new weapon, the Death Star. Anywho, in all this, let's call it conflagration, there was one lonely soldier riding home from the front lines.
Dearest Maud, it's hard on the front lines of this war. There isn't one decent bed in the state of Kentucky, and I don't think these people like me much. But there's one thing that keeps me going. Whiskey. And the thought of your sweet face giving me some whiskey. I've heard that war changed a man, but the only thing that's changed in me is the desire to come home to you in one piece, so that we might find a little plot of land somewhere in Minnesota near some gypsum deposits to call home. And I'd like to call it home with you. I don't fear death, though I see it all around me. Some men are afraid of truly being alive, and other men are afraid of this Death Star we've heard so much about. Maybe I don't have the brains to be scared. Probably because I was hit on the head a few times. But I remember you, Maud, and someday I'll be coming to you. It just occurred to me that you may have married someone else. If that's the case, could you deliver this to one of your sisters? I like them too. Yours in love, Humbleton P. Humblefolk.
Now you see, mail was a lot more reliable back then than it is now, and they had Saturday delivery. So that letter made it back home to Ohio, and as soon as the war was over, Humbleton and his love packed up and headed west to the magnificent Great Plains.
Oh, Humbleton, just look at it. You can see forever.
You can indeed.
Oh, isn't it so beautiful? It's plain and dull, just like our love.
Yes. Yes, it is. I've been meaning to talk to you about that, actually. I think we could...
I say we stop here. Build a house out of grasses.
We can't build a house out of grasses. We need a tree, dear.
Then we'll find a tree. There has to be one around here somewhere. Oh, Humbleton, isn't it beautiful? Can't you just picture it? Someday there's going to be a truck stop over there and maybe a strip mall and a 4-lane highway right here.
I can picture anything with you, Maud.
Abigail, Maud married Jacob Dearborn.
Oh, doesn't matter.
That's what I wanted to hear you say for so long. Oh, isn't this just so beautiful? This must be where God got tired of putting all the interesting things and just raced to the finish.
Yup.
Do you think winters are going to be cold here in Minnesota?
Probably not. But if they are, our love will keep us warm.
And so, the first winter came.
Ah, jeez!
Oh, for crying out loud, what's going on here?
So cold!
Seriously, what in the name of all that is holy is happening here? Enough, okay? Enough!
And that was only October. Luckily, there were some Indians in the nearby vicinity. Oh, okay. Apparently, we are not allowed to use the word Indians, as Indians refers to someone from India, and we are from Minnesota. There were some Native Americans in the nearby vicinity. Okay, I have been informed that we can not portray Native Americans in this play due to several insensitive things we have said before. Therefore, we will portray the Native Americans using these brooms.
Greetings, palefaces. We have been watching you stupid people for some time now. We're quite amused by your pathetic attempts to survive.
We think that our love will see us through.
Yes, our love will see us through any winter's chill.
You're dumb. Luckily, we happen to have some blankets here.
Blankets? We sure could use those.
I know. That's why we're willing to give them to you on credit. Special introductory offer, no interest rate for 9 months, followed by a ballooning adjustable rate of no less than 70%, provided you make minimum payments. Should you make a late payment, we'll move to the punitive interest rate at 41% compounded weekly.
I don't understand what he's saying.
Don't worry about brother fine print.
They sure were Americans, all right.
We'll take them.
Stupid palefaces. You're speaking out loud. Oh, sorry. We'll be in touch.
And so, Humbleton and Abigail survived the first winter. But by the time April arrived...
What What's wrong with this place? It's still snowing?
I'm going mad. Make it stop.
Sorry, by the time May arrived,
Oh, thank goodness the weather is...
by the time late May had arrived.
I see you stupid people have survived the winter. We'd like our first payment now.
Oh.
That's okay if you can't pay. We've actually set up a payday lender over here to give you money at 1,000% interest rate to pay us off. Greetings, pale faces. Yes, this place has a high interest rate, but what else are you going to do?
And you see, that right there would have been the end of Humbletown. But those Native Americans didn't count on one thing.
I don't feel well. Something is wrong. Oh.
You see, Humbleton and Abigail's bodies were teeming with a helpful swarm of microbes and bacteria, and the Native Americans were a relatively clean people and had never before encountered anyone such liberally coated in germs as these people before. So...
Huh.
Are they asleep?
So, they called the place?
This is awesome. We win. Woo! Oh, great idea. Let's call this place Awesome Place.
Awesome place?
It's got a great ring to it.
If we called this place Awesome Place, don't you think the surviving Native Americans will just come back and take it from us?
So, they called the place Humbletown.
No, 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 no. Wrong. All wrong. 1,000% wrong. Yet again, the story of Humbletown butchered by young people. First of all, the Civil War wasn't that bad. All that fighting, running, and fleeing. It was great cardio. And second of all, Humbolton didn't send a letter. Letters weren't even invented yet. So, Humbolton delivered his message the only way possible at the time.
Dearest Maud, this war isn't so bad. It's actually great cardio.
You see? If Ma could hear that message 100 miles away, good. If not, a postal worker will later screen the message at her at the mailboxes, etc.
It was a UPS store.
No, it was mailboxes, etc. There weren't 3 Indians. There were 4. And while 3 of them did die on the spot, the fourth one, he died a few seconds later. And as for this so-called Death Star, Death Star, huh? Well, that was accurate.
Do you have anything else to add?
Oh,
or may I continue?
All right, I was going to let you finish, but I'm just getting started. After those Indians and their high interest financing were out of the picture, Hamilton and Mom
Abigail?
decided it was time to grow their family.
Humbleton, I've decided it's time to grow our family.
I'm not sure what you're referring to, my sweet wife.
Do I have to spell it out for you?
That would be helpful.
B-A-B-I-E.
Message received.
And so Hamilton went about growing his family the only way he knew how.
One baby, please. Thank you. Also, some canned meat. This is our son. In honor of the winter accessories that saved our lives, his name shall be Blanket. In honor of the Civil War, his name shall be Bayonet. In honor of my wife, his name shall be decided by my wife.
And thus began the life of Hamilton Humblefolk Jr. chasing a vibe.
Sorry.
Though before long, the cost of childcare began to mount.
Out of sows and a lot of cash. As your food stomper, I will need yams. This bucket for the yams, ample yam stomping room, and a lot of cash.
As your diaper disposaler, I'll need all used diapers and a lot of cash.
It wasn't long before the humble folks knew they needed a lot of cash.
We need a lot of cash.
But how?
What if I invent something amazing, and then make it so people have to pay me to use that amazing thing?
Like what?
What about a small oven that uses microscopic waves to more quickly cook food?
What are microscopic waves?
Don't know. It just sounded catchy. What about a game where an orange ball is thrown into a basket for 3 hours?
No.
Well, I only have one other idea. Do you know how there's no good way to indicate that you're entering or leaving a room? We could invent random words like, I don't know, hello, or goodbye, or this thing I'm doing with my hand for the first time in my life. It would be an acknowledgement to the person as I enter or leave. We could name it after my old war buddy, Tom Salutation.
And thus the salutation was born. From that moment on, anytime someone's arrival or departure was acknowledged, it was considered a salutation. And a fee was collected for Humbletown.
Hi, Trish. Hey, gotta run. See ya.
Later, man.
Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, couch. I'll be over.
And before long, Humbletown, Abigail, and Junior were made in the shade.
Are you kidding me? He invented the word hello. Get out of here. I'm not giving you any money.
Now, I know that due to your youth and ignorance, you may not know that you're
Okay. First off, Humbleton did not buy canned meat from a store. What store? There were only 2 people in town.
Oh, so you're going to start using logic to explain history. Good luck with that.
No, I'm going to use fact.
We're simple folks. We don't take kindly to facts around here.
Too bad. Fact number 1. You don't get canned meat from a canned meat store. The canned meat fairy delivers it. And fact number 2, babies come from love.
Blech.
It's true. And 3, Humbleton and Abigail did make money. But they made money the American way.
Humbletown, we're gonna need a lot of cash if we're gonna make this family work.
I had a dream last night. Something called mortgage-backed security swaps. We basically invent a financial instrument that the government can't regulate, then bet against our own investments by taking out hedges against...
But they didn't have enough time for that because...
What is that huge rumbling sound?
Huge rumbling sound. That's preposterous.
No, I swore I heard a huge rumbling sound. Let's crest over that hill and find out.
This is southern Minnesota. There are no hills.
Then look that way.
And so they saw...
Shaggy horned beasts. Thousands upon thousands of them.
And they're all for us. I'll call them shag monsters.
How about buffalo?
Fine.
Yes, Humbleton and Abigail made money the American way.
Abigail, fetch me my guns.
How many?
All of them.
By exploiting and destroying America's natural resources. And so, the years passed.
How was your day at the buffalo mine?
I keep thinking they're gonna figure out they're getting shot.
How many did you shoot today?
4,391.
Oh, Humbleton, what are we gonna do with them all?
Well, if we've learned anything from the Native Americans, it's to use all of nature's bounty, not to waste it. That's why I've piled all the buffalo carcasses up in town to make them into bricks.
Oh, Humbleton, I love you.
And I love you, Abigail. Abigail, right?
Right. It smells bad here.
And so the years passed. Humbleton and Abigail grew older and older. But exciting times were in store for Humbletown Because with the path being cleared and the stage set with amazing buffalo bricks, the stage was set for industrialization. And it all started with a young man named Humbletown Jr.
Golly gee, I've got it.
What is it, Humbletown Jr.? Yeah, tell us.
You know how sometimes you spill milk and got a hard time cleaning it up.
I sure do. I just use a buffalo corpse to soak up the milk. They're absorbent.
But isn't that inconvenient?
They do weigh 800 pounds. My back sure is hurting.
Friends, I give you the SHSHumbletown.
Gosh, what does it do?
Did you just ask me what does it do? I'll tell you this. SHSHumbletown. It's like a chamois, it's like a towel, it's like a sponge. A regular towel doesn't work dry. SHSHumbletown works dry. Got a mess, cleans it up. Got a small stream, plugged. Got a small creature attacking you, kills it. SHSHumbletown. Did I say SHSHumbletown already? I did. Now I know what you're thinking. What if a shark falls out of the air on top of you? How's this going to help? It will. One pass of the shark's in, shark dries out, shark dies horribly. And you can go back to your milk spill. And it's not going to drip. Throw it in the washing machine. It's ready to kill another shark. You're going to say wow every time.
Wow. Where can I get one?
Get one? You're going to make them in my factories.
And so, the people of Humbletown were now employed in the dangerous, extremely complicated, and intricate construction of the nation's SHSHumbletown.
Hey, Humbletown Jr., we've been friends since we were 4 years old, right?
Absolutely. And that's why I want you to call me Mr. Junior.
Mr. Jr., would it be possible for me to get a raise and perhaps work in less dangerous conditions?
Well, let's see, that would be possible, except the fact that I've taken your parents hostage and have forced them to work in the SHSHumbletown mines.
I have no idea what that has to do with anything.
That was a vague threat. So unless you want me to start making specific threats, I suggest you drop this narrative.
But it was too late.
My fellow workers, let's organize!
It's just me.
You and me, let's organize!
Like a marriage?
No, like a union!
Isn't that sort of like a marriage?
No, it's more like a... Just shut up. Repeat after me. Strike!
Strike?
Strike!
What's a strike?
Repeat after me. Strike!
I don't get it.
And 3 years later, the first union was formed.
No! Wrong again! Conditions were dismal and pay was low, but they liked it that way. In fact, Humbletown Jr. tried doubling wages. But the workers declined, because even more fun than breathable air or more money was a reason to complain.
That is simply false.
See? You just complained. What? You can thank God for applause for that. You know what? Do it. Thank God for applause for that complaint you just did. Do it.
Thank you, forefathers.
Nah, the workers didn't strike at all. They did, however, all get together during their 6-minute allotted lunch break to play the game they invented, Gumblame Ball.
And we are back.
What a game so far, Jebediah. What a game.
You said it, Abernathy. Now let's jump right back into the action.
These working conditions are awful, and did I mention this pain in my lower back?
No matter how many times I sweep the leaves off my buffalo roof, they just keep showing up again.
Woo! Woo! I'm just sick of having to pay a fee every time when I say hello.
Woo!
That's a good one.
They're remarkable today, aren't they? No doubt about it, this is some of the best complaining I have ever seen. And that's saying something, given my wife. Misogyny will always be funny.
They even call Complain Ball America's favorite pastime. That is until the invention of better sports that made for better pastimes. Fact is, Complain Ball was poorly conceived, and I just couldn't stand it. It was just the worst.
Woo!
This trophy, it's heavy.
Woo!
That cheering is loud. Woo! Okay, you all. Quiet. There. Off with you. Anyways, after every long, grueling day at the SHSHumbletown factory, the workers would all gather at the local watering hole. They were called watering holes because it was there that everyone would pour water into their face holes.
Barkeep, water's for everyone, on me. Woo! And for myself, I'll have your finest water served neat with a water chestnut garnish.
H2O coming right up.
But Jesse, I thought you said you were just barely getting by.
Let's just say I made a good bet that my favorite complain ball team won today, and then I'd wager that I have some extra cash.
You caught a foul ball with money stuffed inside?
You're not great with basic comprehension, are you?
Nope.
Raise your glass, everybody. Even though working conditions are the worst they've ever been, and that our town reeks of decaying buffalo, we can always drown our sorrows in a colorless, tasteless liquid. Woo!
Yes, it was a beautiful time when water flowed like water. But, all that was about to change.
Extra, government prohibits all consumption of water effective at 6 o'clock.
Right, everyone listen up. We've got the chief on the way over here, but the big news is water shut down completely. Go ahead, chief.
Okay, people, listen up. Starting now for the foreseeable future, water and anything related to water cannot be sold, purchased, or consumed. That means no well water, rainwater, pond water, river water, or anything else with water in the name. You better believe that includes watermelons.
On whose authority?
City Hall's authority. Any other questions?
On whose authority?
At this time, any such contraband should be deposited into this receptacle. Who's getting it?
Why didn't she answer my question?
Is that everybody? Carl.
This ain't over, Chief.
This is over when I say it's over. Okay, now it's over.
And thus began the period most commonly known as evaporation. The city government decided that water was evil. They called it the devil's rule. And a world without water was a dry world indeed. Very, very unmoist.
Kids, time to brush your teeth.
But how? We don't have any water.
Use tree sap.
Can we go swimming tomorrow? I want to do a cannonball.
The pool has been drained and I closed forever, but instead you can jump into the next best thing.
What's that, Daddy?
I had like a pile of rotten buffalo carcasses.
Yay!
But the people wouldn't give up so easy. The abolition of water opened up a whole new world of water-based crime.
Hey, you want Dasani? I got Dasani. Got some real nice Dasani right here. $50 too, for 80. You know what? I can tell you got a discerning palate, so I'm gonna crack out the good stuff. Distilled, 100 pure. You wanna smell this, sweet baby? I don't even care what you do with it. You wanna pour it over your head? Be my guest. Wanna dip your hands in? Just wash them. I'm not judging you. I was never here.
Soon, water bootleggers started crop up everywhere. The water speakeasies taking the town by storm. The most infamous speakeasy, of course, was called Midnight at the Oasis.
Raindrops are falling on my head, and just like the guy's feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, and they keep falling.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're not the police, are you?
No.
Terrific. In that case, let me show you around Midnight at the Oasis. This is the best speakeasy in town. How about I give you the grand tour? Great. Barkeep, tell her what's on tap.
Here at Midnight at the Oasis, we serve everything your dry-out hearts desire. If you want tap water, we've got it. If you want that water with the gross aftertaste that sometimes comes out of public water fountains, oh yeah. And no matter what you order, we always water it down. And if you want bottled water, talk to this guy.
Heavy on.
And if you look over here, you'll find a delightful relic from the pre-evaporation days. It's called a water cooler, and it's where everyone gathers to gossip. And finally, if you look over here, you'll see Bucky and his fish. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. And that's the end of the tour. I hope you enjoy yourself here at Midnight at the Oasis, where we've gone 50 days without a police raid. And finally, on the house, bottle of smart water.
This is by far the best speakeasy in town. I hope it never gets shut down by the police.
Password.
Police.
Did you say police or and like, did you say police or not the police?
The former.
You may answer.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me show you around. Definitely not a speakeasy. This here's the best non-speakeasy in town. How about I give you the grand tour? Barkeep, tell her what's on tap.
Here at definitely not a speakeasy. We serve everything your heart's desire. Assuming your heart desires mustard. If you want honey mustard, done. If you want Dijon, we've got it. And if you want specialty brands, talk to this guy.
Grapefruit pie.
And if you look over here, you'll find our gossip hat rack. And finally, Bucky and his banana.
Here, fishy, fishy, fishy.
And that's the end of the tour. I hope you enjoy yourself here at Definitely Not a Speakeasy. We've gone 50 days without a police raid.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Nothing at all. Here, have some mustard.
Well, I'll say one thing. This is definitely not a speakeasy.
Hooray! And so it went, where speakeasy was king, and every gallon delivered by the mystical creature called the Water Fairy.
As usual, old person, your history has an iota of truth, but it's mostly poppycock.
Poppycock? Poppycock?
Poppycock, I say!
I'm the one who's funny old-fashioned words.
Not anymore. In today's society, young people can use the same homespun sayings as old people do.
And I don't like today's society. Never have.
Too bad. You're wrong about the evaporation, though. It wasn't the city government and the police who started it. No. It was this lady. Huldah this country.
Greetings, America! My name's Huldah and I'm on the warpath!
You see, Huldah wasn't one of those stereotypical frontier women who led lives of quiet desperation.
No!
Nope, she was an axe-wielding sociopath.
I will remake this country in my image. First thing I'm gonna use, I love water.
Look, lady, this whole I'm gonna take over thing you're doing is cute and all, but let's face facts. You're a woman, and you have no influence here. We're not gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
What he said.
Girl Scouts.
We have a tree house.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Police Chief. I must have lost my place.
Quite all right, happens from time to time. Your husband may have to lecture you.
Oh, sure. Or, I have 2 axes and I'm in charge now!
Run away! Soon, Huldah this country had every police department in America scared into the abolition of water, starting right here in Humbletown.
And that's when the bootlegging started.
Yes, I was getting to that. That's when the organized crime began.
I never said they were organized.
Well, they were, and it wasn't the water fairy who supplied the water. The supplier was Jesse.
All right, Goose, let's see tonight's take and make it snappy.
Sorry, I'm a literalist.
We got 4,000 from the church, another grand from the orphanage, 2 bits from the bathhouse, 16 from the water park, and this rubber ducky.
What?
Apparently someone thought it would be fun to give us a rubber ducky. I think it's kind of cute, actually.
Who gave us the duck?
All right, you beat it out of me.
I wasn't actually gonna
Stop,
do it.
please, I'll talk.
We're on the same side.
There's a guy that lives on the outskirts of town, lives on his own floor of an entire hotel, kind of looks like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Who's that?
He invented the Mona Lisa.
We went to get our payment from him, says he wants you to come in person, gives me the rubber ducky, laughs maniacally. I said I don't appreciate maniacal laughter, then he starts giggling. Real creepy like. So I says to him, where I come from, giggling ain't appreciate. You know what he does? Chuckles. Real soft, barely audible, but it's there. Also holding a weapon of some kind. Couldn't be sure like how the fact that he got the shade strong, these red light bulbs, but it looked to be a howitzer.
A what?
An artillery device somewhere between a gun and a mortar. A typical howitzer has a barrel length of 15 to 25 times its own caliber. At least, that's the word of the street.
I don't like the sound of this.
It's a German word, ma'am. No one likes the sound of them.
No. I mean the creepy millionaire hiding on a hotel cradling a piece of artillery?
I wouldn't say cradling, more like a sensual stroke, kind of like massaging.
Would petting be a fair characterization?
Petting could work, but I think we
Okay, shut up. I'm going alone. I'd take you with me, but it's just too dangerous.
Sounds good.
Wait, whoa. I'd actually like some backup.
Sorry, too dangerous.
I have 3 wives to support.
You have 3 wives?
It is not as fun as it sounds.
So, Jessie made her way to the outskirts of town, alone, and eventually made it up the 14th floor of the hotel.
So you've come.
Yeah. I got your ducky, and I didn't think it was funny.
It was meant to be ironic.
Oh. Well, they didn't find it to be ironic either.
That in itself is ironic.
Shut up. Everybody in this town pays my gang for water, and you're going to do the same.
I don't need your water. You know why? You know what I have behind me? Can you guess? Can you even fathom what it is? Do you know what this is? This is a SHSHumbletown. It's like a chamois, it's like towel, it's like sponge. A regular towel can't absorb this much moisture. I don't even shower. I take the SHSHumbletown, ring down over my head, I'm completely clean. Put the SHSHumbletown on the ground, rub it all over my body, I'm dry. Then take the SHSHumbletown, ring down into a cup, it's a refreshing beverage. I say wow every time.
Wow. Humbleton Jr.?
That was my name once.
It's me, Jessie.
Doesn't ring a bell.
I used to love you.
You did? Jessie?
Yeah.
Don't look at me, I'm hideous.
No. Ooh, you're just a little gross.
No, it's too late for me. That's just me and the SHSHumbletown.
No, put the towel down.
You don't understand. It's not just a towel. It's not just a chamois. It's better than that.
Humbleton Jr., snap out of it!
My mother didn't love me. My father didn't love me. So I turned this. I hold it. It's like slumming me back like a lover. Except better than that because it's also absorbing my moisture.
And although Humbleton Jr. was pretty gross, Jessie's love for him could not be denied. So, they joined forces, were soon married, and quickly had 2 kids, twins, a boy and a girl, whom they named Humbleton III and Humblebee.
No, stop that.
So, with the bootlegged water money pouring in, the Humblefolk family decided they were going to enjoy their wealth for the next 2 years.
No! They didn't enjoy their great wealth for the next 2 years. They enjoyed their great wealth for the next 2 hours. Because that's exactly how long it took for the organized crime revenue, the organized city government revenue to get jealous of the organized crime revenue, which for some reason led to the end of the evaporation, which for some reason led to the end of the humble folks' family income stream, which for some reason led to the greatest period of poverty in town history. Since it was such a depressing time, filled with so much economic and emotional depression, they called it the great sad time.
Aww, all the money is gone. I used to eat ice cream cones with sprinkles on top. Now I eat traffic cones with dirt on top.
All of the money is gone. I used to go horseback riding every day. Now I have to ride this cat.
All the money is gone. We used to vacation at our second home along the river, and our second home, our second home is, And like now our second home is this. And like now our second home is. And our second home is gone. We have to vacation inside this box.
Just look how sad it is. Times were so bad, the government had to set up bread lines to feed the needy. Unfortunately, the townsfolk got bored with bread, so they replaced bread with expired Halloween candy.
Next, you got your choice between 3-year-old Snowcaps and 5-year-old Jujubes.
No Mike and Ike's?
No Mike and Ike's.
No!
This truly is a great sad time.
Those were dark days with old dark chocolate. But those folk, they were a resilient folk.
Look on the bright side, at least we've got water.
Water? Water? I don't want your stupid water. I want sweet, mass-produced candies.
Listen to me, you whippersnapper. Back in my day, we didn't have any of this legal water that you take for granted. We had sand and dirt, and we liked it. I didn't so much as sniff a bath for 9 years. People used to faint when I came near. In fact, that's how I met your mother, which is neither here nor there. But my point is, no matter how bad you have it, I used to have it worse, which makes me feel good in a strange sort of way, kind of like I'm superior to you.
You're right, Dad. But hey, if I ever have children...
You can feel superior to them by telling them how bad you had it.
Thanks.
Hey, why don't we go walk uphill both ways to school?
Do you think there might be a snowstorm?
Honey, when we tell this story, not only will there be a snowstorm, but we'll be mauled by a pack of wolves.
I love you, Dad.
I love you too, Lorraine. Hey, let's say after school we go to the clinic and sell some of your blood plasma.
Sure.
Oh, the great sad time affected everyone, even more than just financially. It also affected their mood.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Bob.
How are you doing today?
I stare in the abyss, Bob. Yourself?
Joe, the abyss is staring into me.
Yep.
Yep.
Might rain soon.
Probably be a rain of fire.
I was thinking the same thing.
Hey, did you hear about somebody I used to know?
What about him?
They died.
Lucky.
Yep.
It's just so sad.
Are you kidding?
I don't kid, it's a luxury I can't afford.
It was called the Depression.
You know what your problem is? Cell phone and sending cell waves into your brain and causing damage. That's why kids today aren't as good as kids yesterday. I remember them clearly.
You don't remember anything. You're ancient. I get my information from the internet
Never heard of it.
and from public schooling.
There's your problem. If you knew anything, you would know that a depression is a small downward sloping area of land. Stupid young people.
It was called the Depression, and it was caused by a banking collapse.
How can a bank collapse? That's ridiculous.
It was a banking collapse. And when the banks collapsed, people lost their life savings, especially in Humbletown, where they mostly invested in this bank.
Get your bank in here, get your bank in here. Bank of Chuck. Be a part of the most awesome bank in the universe.
That bank sounds cool. I'm young and don't have any critical thinking skills.
Good thing I never went to school and got indoctrinated.
Ha! I can't even spell school.
Everybody's doing it. You're not cool unless you put your money in my bank.
What's that? I'm not cool if I don't put my money in your bank?
Then let's do it.
So the banks took the money they got and...
Sold mine on the moon. I got a sold mine on the moon.
I'll take a piece of that action.
Thank you. Also, I forgot to mention that I'm insane.
So, funny story, everyone. There were some poor decisions that were made, and the great thing about money is it's all imaginary anyway. So I just want you to imagine that you have some, Because you probably don't anymore. I'm moving to Brazil.
Let's kill the bankers! Yeah!
Whoa, hold on. Aren't we missing who the real evil people are here? Poor people and immigrants.
Let's kill the poor people and immigrants! Yeah!
There you go.
Hey, I don't mean to be problematic here, but aren't we the poor people now?
Let's just kill the immigrants! Yeah!
Hey, aren't we immigrants too?
Dang it!
And so, with no one to blame, the people settled into a deep
You say
depression.
malarkey.
Don't you malark me!
Malarkey, say malarkey! The townsfolk did find some of the blame for their troubles. All they needed was a scapegoat, and by scapegoat, I'm referring to this guy.
So I just stand here and...
And so, they needed a new scapegoat. And so, they needed a new scapegoat.
What if we blamed everything on blue-eyed people?
That's too hard to tell from a distance. We need something you can see from farther away.
I wish we had someone we could blame. That would make our failures seem a lot more palatable.
I love the way you think, Andre.
I've got it. You there, get me a soapbox I can stand on.
We don't have any soap boxes, but we do sell soap in these burlap sacks.
Fine, then give me a soap sack. Gather round, everyone. I'm about to yell something.
You hear that? A guy's gonna yell something. Seems like a good reason to gather.
Now, I don't know about any of you, but I've had it up to here with this great sad time, or some dumber people may call it this depression. If I had one word to describe it, I would call it depressing. But since that's sort of implied, I'm going to call it upsetting.
It is
All will
upsetting.
forsake you. Your
I am glad you agree, random citizen and inconspicuously dark voice in the sky.
That's God.
Now, I think it's clear to say that we shouldn't blame our problems on the poor, and we shouldn't blame our problems on the immigrants. No, our problems clearly stem from one group of people, and that group of people is kittens! No, kittens aren't even a group of people. And they're blameless. What's wrong with you?
Oh. Jimmy, cancel the anti-kitten rally.
No, the group of people is the unshaven.
Hi there.
For too long, these bestubbled miscreants have been thorns in our sides. Since the dawn of hair, there have only been 3 occupations for the bearded and mustachioed. Little girl, would you please tell us all what those 3 occupations are?
Old-timey war generals, gold prospectors, and evil villains.
Old-timey war generals, gold prospectors, and evil villains. And if that's been the case since the dawn of hair, then why is Edgar a milkman? Hi. Why is Paul a house painter?
Howdy.
Why is April the local bearded lady at our circus?
Morning.
These are good American jobs, traditionally held by good, hard-working, clean, shaven Americans that have now been taken away by these hirsute interlopers.
Do you have another one of those soap sacks I can stand on?
Here you go.
Hi, everyone. I couldn't help but hear a few unkind words about my shaggy brethren.
You people have been plotting to take us over. It's fully cabal.
I do believe that's facial discrimination.
You're darn right that's facial discrimination. Stubble means trouble.
Can you give me one example of stubble meaning trouble?
One example? What about the face riots?
The face riots? Isn't that just Gloria occasionally knocking over a bucket for no good reason?
You see? Facial tensions today are higher than they've ever been.
All we want is facial equality, without facial discrimination or facial profiling. The last thing we want is a war on face.
Just shave! The evaporation is over. You now have ample access to water and water-based creams. So do away with your beards and mustaches and soul patches and mutton chops. That Fu Manchu is a Fu Man choice. I have one question that the world needs to know. What are you hiding under there?
We're not hiding anything. We just like how it looks, and our spouses and children like how it feels.
Well, that's just gross.
All we want is facial equality.
Well, you're not gonna get it. Officer Steffens, arrest this man!
Hi there.
Oh, come on!
Excuse me. I'm sorry to interrupt, but looks like a friendly discussion among townsfolk that in no way involves misguided hatred. Andre, I haven't seen you at my barber shop. Your weekly shave for over 6 months now. What happened?
Not now, Rodney. I found a new barber.
I'm the only barber in town. So, Andre, what's going on?
Well, you see,
I just don't understand how it's possible that you haven't shaved in 6 months, and yet your face is smoother than smooth jazz.
Oh, I can't take it anymore!
Mr. Andre, what's that on your face?
Everyone, I have a confession to make. I am an unshaven.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously.
I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. And I like combing it like this.
Mama, make it stop!
I'm sorry, little girl. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm a hypocrite. A hypocrite. I don't deserve to live! Ah!
There, Andre. You know what you need?
What's that?
A beard hug.
Okay, after that disgusting encounter, that was the beginning and end of the face war. It lasted about 3 minutes. There are other kinds of discrimination elsewhere in the country. Racial discrimination, religious discrimination, Canadian discrimination. But in Humbletown, those 3 minutes forever established our facial identity.
Okay. Number one, that never happened. And number two, those were way too many face puns.
Never, you hear me? There's never too many face puns.
Quiet, old man!
That wasn't even funny.
There was no facial hair discrimination because at about this time, a wave of change began to come over Humbletown.
Change? I never don't like change.
Too bad. You see, there was a lot of sexism back in those days.
Good times.
What is wrong with you?
What?
For instance,
Wife, I'm home. Wife. What is with these women? Always taking their time, doing their laundry, and it's crazy. Wife! There you are. What took you so long?
I'm sorry, husband.
Why isn't dinner on the table?
I've actually been cooking it for 4 hours, and the boil's almost tender. I'll just need another 5 minutes or so.
5 minutes? I work all day at the SHSHumbletown factory. What do you do here? Sit around, lounging around, doing the dishes, buying the groceries, cooking the food, managing the household finances, dusting the china, buying more groceries, watching the kids, cleaning the windows, doing everything but what I want. I'm tired. Is it that much to ask that when I get home you fetch me my slippers, sometimes get my newspaper, and get me something to drink?
I'm sorry, husband.
Brings a tear to my eye just watching this beautiful domestic scene. Where is it today? Gone. Just gone.
Just watch, because then the change happens.
I'm trying to be a good wife, but it's really difficult.
Sing it, sister. I'm tired of these men treating us like dirt.
I wish I was treated like dirt.
You know what we should do? We need to rise up and speak up for ourselves.
That is the best idea I've ever heard. Fetch me my pitchfork.
I was just talking about equality.
Oh. Disregard that last bit then. Now you think I'm still on board.
Alrighty then, here's the plan. I can't hear what you're saying because you're whispering.
And that's when all the trouble started.
That's not when the trouble started.
Oh, I do so believe it is, you see.
Just watch!
Hopefully she doesn't take as long as last time. Wife, I'm home.
I'm not your servant! And you're lucky not to talk to me on the pitchfork idea.
The trouble has started.
That's not when the trouble started.
Oh, I do, but I so believe it is, you see.
Look, let me finish my part of the story.
Finish your part of the story.
Hear ye, hear ye. This meeting of the patriarchy is now in session. We will begin with the grumblings.
Grumble.
Grumble.
That's right, and more grumbling.
Grumble.
There's been a lot of craziness going on lately.
My wife no longer wants to be treated like an unpaid servant.
That's outrageous!
And my wife won't fluff my pillows for me at night while I'm sleeping.
Even more outrageous!
What should we do?
All right, listen up. I have a plan.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Sorry. I mean, let's create an advertising system based on keeping women so unsatisfied with their bodies and neurotic about their appearance that they won't be able to think straight. Then, we subtly manipulate them into internalizing gender discrimination so they won't care when we take all the good jobs.
That's perfect. That's so crazy, it just might work.
All right. All that right there, you stop that.
That's how it happened.
You failed to neglect to mention one thing, the total erosion of our old-time values. Like shame, regret, guilt.
That's a good thing.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Well, if you were alive back when the town was taken by storm by the nation's biggest dance craze, that would have melted your brain. If you had one. That's what I thought. That reminds me. Let me tell you a song about dancing music. Or, as the youth call it today, music.
No one calls it that.
Nobody cares! For decades, America was perfectly happy with orchestral music, big band music, or my personal favorite, zero music. Just take a listen to that. Oh, pardon me if I can't shake my slacks to sweet, sweet sounds. Anywho, soon, America was taken over by insufferable music accompanied by insufferable dancing. Soon, there was musical filth, like the bunny hop, the twist, and dare I say, the mashed potato. Since Humbletown was the last town in America to have television, townsfolk only read and heard about each dance craze and therefore had to guess the steps. And let me tell you, the alarming consequences were on national display at Tippy Dipperson's dance extravaganza.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Dippy Dipperson's Dance Extravaganza, the mashed potato dance contest and all mashed potato dance contests. Tonight, all the most talented competitors in the nation are here to strut their stuff and find out who will walk away with the mashed potato trophy. Now, without further ado, let's meet tonight's contestants. First, put your hands together for Claire from Houston.
Howdy, y'all.
That is a terrific mashed potato. Next, we have Ryan from Maui.
Aloha.
That is a stupendous mashed potato. And finally, we have Humble Pie from Humbletown, a television-free town that has to guess the steps for the mashed potato.
Hi, everybody.
Woo! I don't know what just happened. Okay, the judges will now decide who will take home tonight's trophy. Wait, my producer is trying to tell me something, which is especially surprising given earpiece technology hasn't been invented yet. I'm being told that contestants 1 and 2 are being disqualified due to attempted judge bribery. Which means, by default, the mashed potato trophy goes to Humble Pie Humblefolk, who is the daughter of Humblebee, which I'm telling you in case you need that exposition. Humble Pie, how does it feel to be champion of the world in the least deserving way possible?
I would like to thank the real heroes, the potatoes.
See you next time, folks. I promise it will be less disgusting.
Oh, dear God, it's everywhere. It's just, why? This is wrong. It took a decade for the people of Humbletown to realize the mashed potato did not involve the literal mashing of potatoes. To this day, it's considered the second biggest misunderstanding in American history. Right next to the time that the whole state of Maryland thought that Patrick Henry said,
"Give me liberty or give me breath."
But that day resulted in 2 developments. One, Humble Pie immediately gained the entire adoration of everyone in town, thus becoming mayor the following day. And the second being the invention of the dance crazes.
I think you're right about that.
What?
I think you're right. We did have a dance craze problem as we were isolated from the rest of the country.
You actually believe that? I was just making that up. Ah, dagnabbit!
There was no dance craze problem. You're remembering that from one comic written by none other than Humbleton III, because, if you'll remember, that comic book ended with this little nugget.
So remember, kids, keep on dancing. And when you're done dancing, go over to Gopherville and commit vandalism. Keep on smiling.
Told you so.
Oh, the Gopherville debacle.
Oh, yes.
That was a glorious concert.
The worst time in Humbletown history.
How dare you! How dare you trample on my rose-colored past!
It all started simply enough.
Why, hello there. We're Goodwill ambassadors from Gopherville, the next town over.
Welcome to Humbletown.
Feel free to spend your hard-earned money in our SHSHumbletown museum.
Well, we don't do a lot of museum visiting. We're what you like to call simple folks.
That's funny. This here town is full of simple folks.
I'm sure it is. Of course, our town's simpler.
I'd like to think that our town is simpler.
I could see why you would think that. Of course, you're terribly, terribly wrong. We've got the simplest folks around.
Our folks can't even spell simpler.
Probably true, probably true. Of course, we don't have any of those highfalutin SHSHumbletown museums where we come from. Nope, just a series of huts with no running water. Like how people used to do before they got all fancy with SHAMWOWs.
I've heard just about enough of this hogwash.
Hogwash? That must be sort of a fancy college thing you do here in Fancy Town.
I'll see you dead.
I'll see you all dead, this whole town.
I could have loved you.
Get out!
By the way, we have a nuclear bomb. We're not smart enough not to use it. Bye.
And so it began.
I call all members of Humbletown to a general town meeting. Does anyone have a soap stack I can stand on? Has anyone seen Gloria who kicks over a bucket for no good reason? Good. I have terrible news.
He's a robot. Kill him.
No, I'm not.
That's exactly what a robot would say. Kill him anyway.
Hey. We can use that barely concealed rage. We just gotta focus it. Humbletown faces an existential threat.
Do you mean the philosophical viewpoint that begins with a sense of disorientation and confusion, as advanced in an absurd world by Soren Kierkegaard?
Would you shut up about Kierkegaard?
Nazis come to destroy us.
Death to Kierkegaard!
He's already dead.
He's outsmarted us again.
I'm feeling a profound sense of loss and alienation.
Me too. Would you shut up about Swedish philosophers?
He was Danish.
I said, shut up! Humbletown now faces one of the biggest threats we've ever had to face before. Gopherville has a nuclear bomb and hates us.
What?
I'm sure Kierkegaard would understand this dilemma.
Oh my gosh. There's only one thing we can do.
Talk to them?
We've tried that. They're idiots. No, the only thing that Gopherville people understand is the threat of overwhelming force. Do we happen to have any nuclear physicists in town?
I'm a nuclear physicist.
What?
You just don't fit my preconceived notion of what a nuclear physicist looks like.
It ain't that hard.
Do you think you could build a nuclear bomb?
Shucks, I've already got two of them.
My barn.
Death to
Gopherville! Because my capacity to destroy us.
Well, if it isn't Mr. Snazzy Pants.
I'm not scared of you. We have our own bomb now. In fact, we have 2 of them.
Well, that's funny, because we have 3.
Dang it! We need more nuclear bombs!
And then it got worse.
We have bigger bombs.
Our bombs have angry faces painted on them.
Our bombs leave a nasty odor after they kill you.
Our bombs stop just before they're about to kill you and make insulting comments about your blue jeans.
Our bombs find your mothers first.
Our bombs seek out cute kittens and puppies and blow them up first.
Until finally...
Okay, children, it's time for us to practice what happens in the event of a Gopherville nuclear strike. Who can tell me the proper way to prevent yourself from an atomic conflagration at 6,000 degrees Kelvin? Ingrid?
Build a time machine and go back in time and stop them from building the bomb.
No, that's a stupid answer, Ingrid. No, the correct answer is to duck near the ground, and place these nuclear fire-resistant napkins over our heads. Observe. 1, 2, 3. Nuclear bombs can't hurt me. Like, now you try it, class.
1, 2, 3. Nuclear bombs can't hurt me.
Isn't a nuclear blast likely to rip through our napkins?
That is why they are called nuclear fire-resistant napkins.
Something's happening.
People of Humbletown, we at Gopherville have decided it is no longer nice to threaten you with a rain of fire. Therefore, we are going to detonate our bombs in the nearby lake, making everything safe for everyone. Sorry for the confusion.
Humbolton, you're a hero.
Yes, I am.
Do you think it's a good idea that they blow up nuclear bombs in the lake?
What's the worst thing that could happen? Oh, that.
That's enough. These bombs do my face! Gopherville never had the nuclear bomb!
They did too!
And neither did Humbletown!
They did too!
No, they didn't! They both had the atomic bomb!
An atomic bomb is a type of nuclear bomb, you idiot!
You're a type of nuclear bomb!
You hurt my feelings.
Good! Anyways, the frigid conflict kept on escalating, with the divide between Humbletown and Gopherville becoming the centerpiece of the Humbletown mayorship. She made it her mission to boycott and identify any and all Gopherville sympathizers. They called it the trial of that week or so.
Order! Order in the court! Your witness? Have you now or ever been a Gopherville sympathizer?
No.
Really? Oh. Wow. Geez, this is embarrassing. There's a whole lot of setup for nothing. Nothing further, Your Honor. Trial adjourned!
This is the pinnacle of the
Such a waste of time.
For that? Yep. And so ended the frigid conflict. But history kept on historying. In fact, soon after bomb inventing, Humbletown started other things inventing. Why, they weren't done inventing, not by a darn sight. Why, they went on to create the very first instruments.
That's not the least bit true.
You're a type of nuclear bomb!
Why does that bother me?
Ask yourself that question again. Nah, these weren't the internets that we have today. No, sirree. Why? These internets are 1 trillion times more useful than those internets. How, you ask? Thank you. I'm glad you asked. The Humbletown internets got rid of all the unnecessary online site page webs the other internets give you, and gave you the only thing that anyone ever needs. A video of a cow mooing, then breaking wind. Quite literal.
Let's run a search, see if there are any tickets for tonight's complaint ball.
Did you hear about those 2 countries that went to war today?
Which 2 countries?
I don't know. Let me check. They're hard to spell.
Siri, I accidentally sliced my foot open with a meat cleaver, and I've lost a gallon of blood. Should I call a doctor?
It's funny because she's dead. You see, that cow went on to become governor, and is still governor to this day.
Now, I don't know if you think I'm stupid.
All right, let me stop right there. I think you're ignorant.
But I'm pretty sure our governor is not an actual cow.
There you go again with your fancy knowledge. If you were alive back when I was, way how we got our information was through innuendo and misinformation. I don't trust you or your so-called facts.
Too bad. I can use the real internet to figure this out.
What do you got there? Put away your TV box.
Behold, the power of technology!
No!
Hold on. It's hard to get service in here. Hold on. 1 bar! No bars.
Technology.
I swear, this will only take a minute. 1 bar. Nope. No bars. 1 bar! No bars. I give up. Our governor's a cow.
Your magic has no purchase here, demon.
You are wrong, which I can't prove, but that doesn't matter. Because around this time, when the internet actually came to Humbletown, it came in the form of the smartphone, which began the age that we like to call the era of everyone basically doing nothing but looking at their phones all day, or the great fact-checking.
I don't like vegetables. That's not true, honey. You like potatoes.
Potatoes aren't a vegetable, dear. That was an ignorant comment.
Wrong. You're the ignorant comment.
Let's just see what the internet has to say about it.
Hey Siri, are potatoes a vegetable?
Although potatoes are a vegetable, the Department of Health wants them classified as a, I quote, starch food.
Dang it. You know what's funny about the Department of Health? It wasn't founded until after World War I.
Fool, the Department of Health predates World War I.
The roots of the Department of Health are traced back to 1942.
Mine says May 4th, 1980.
Ha! Foiled again.
The internet sadly brought about other changes as well.
There's a comment section under a news article.
I think I'll comment. My opinion matters a lot.
My opinion matters too. I will also comment.
Your opinion doesn't matter as much as mine because I'm a man.
I've internalized that as well.
It got so bad, the people began to comment on everything that happened in town.
You guys seen the new Complain Ball game?
Yeah, it was really good.
I hated it.
Really?
It was
Well,
the worst.
That's your problem.
Well,
could've
you
been
all
better.
have
Trophy was
awful
heavy.
opinions.
Dislike.
Really.
For our mayor.
Citizens, I have news of a potentially dangerous event. There's been news of a meteor that's coming towards our town as we speak.
I'd just like to add that I wish all of you well, and I love my family.
That's something an ignorant hippopotamus would say.
Hey, why can't we all just have a civil discourse, you bee-eating slug?
Sure, make personal attacks instead of addressing the subject of your personal attack.
That's ad hominem.
You don't even know what ad hominem means.
I know it sounds Latin, and since I can use Latin words, I'm so much smarter than all the rest of you.
I don't even believe in meteors.
You wouldn't because you get all your news from TMZ.
I despise all news, and I'm also a veteran.
Trolls. There are trolls all around me.
Make money from home. I couldn't believe it until I started making $80 an hour doing nothing except making internet comments.
Hey everyone, we're trending on Twitter.
Fractious town destined to be wiped off the face of the earth.
Hashtag death imminent.
Hashtag oh the humanity.
Hashtag make money from home.
Now, I'd like to stop the production just for a second. You see, normally, in entertainment, a certain type of plucky oil driller would come along and solve everyone's problems.
Does someone call for a plucky oil driller?
No, not yet, thank you.
That's okay. I'll be over here having meaningful conversations with my loved ones. I so I want to sacrifice myself to save you all. I save you all. Like I like you. I think you will cry about me. Like you. I think you. I think you will cry. I cry. I think you will cry about me so much, possibly because of my pluckiness.
Okay? Anywho, normally this would happen, but this is not that type of entertainment. Because, you see, the meteor did strike Humbletown.
You know what? We should all take selfies.
Let's do it.
That's a great idea.
It was called the Great Photo Bomb. And in those last beautiful selfies, you can see the meteor just behind them, as if to say, I know you're taking a picture yourself, but I think very highly of myself, so I'm just going to pop right into your photo. And they all died.
That's right. All gone.
And you would think that would be the end of it.
Well, oh no, because
8 years have come, and 8 years have gone. It's autumn now, you see. And here, where we are, on the great hill, and here, where I stand, is where eternity is marked, etched with stones. I'm saying it's a graveyard. Anyways, these souls know their place in time and space, but the new ones, it takes some time for them to realize what's happened to them.
Where am I? What happened? Oh, I get it. I'm dead.
She figured that out fast.
Too fast.
I think she said a netherworld record. Get it? Get it, you guys?
We get it.
As I be one ghost number 3, as I think as the group says, Lucifer has no patience. I have patience for puns.
Fellow spirits, if I am dead, how did I perish? Did I save a school bus of children from going off a chasm with spikes at the bottom? Or better yet, did I go on a crusade against an evil tyrant and die a celebrated hero? Or was it just that meteor?
Meteor.
Yeah, meteor.
But you did get a paper cut about 5 minutes before the meteor struck, so you could have died of blood loss.
I think we got this. Meteor.
Yeah, meteor.
So it turns out the pen is meatier than the sword.
All right, that's it. You. Come on.
Oh, man, really?
Yes, really.
Good Banshees, is it true that I can pick a day of my life and just relive it? I saw that in a play once.
Yes, it has been attempted by some, but most of them hate it and return back to this place.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I'm going to ignore your warning and go back to the greatest day of my entire life, June 8th. I was 11 years old, and I would say that was the day I had the best meal ever. I had 3 Cornish hens dripping with grease and 2 quince pies with heavy whipping cream for good measure. And I also had 4 thrice-baked potatoes with all the fixins. And then I had flan, pounds and pounds of flan. I do say that June 8th is the day I had the biggest and best meal of my entire life. Spirits, deliver me to June 8th.
And then it'll be so, like on your 11th year of life, like you shall be lived June 8th.
Oh, wait, no, it was June 7th.
We now deliver you to June 8th.
No, I meant June 7th. Aw, really?
Why did I eat 3 Cornish game hens? And in hindsight, the heavy whipping cream was excessive. And I could see a few ounces of flan, but pounds? Well, at least I can look on the bright side that my best friend will show up any moment now and read me my horoscope.
Hey, best friend Humble Pie. First off, I hate you now. We're no longer best friends.
What?
But down to business. Let's see. Gemini. Exciting things are in store for you in June. Be wary, however, that your best friend will terminate your friendship on the 8th. Checks out. Also, you will die earlier than expected due to a meteor or a paper cut.
Told you so.
Yeah, you did warn me on that one.
You sure you don't have anything else to add there?
What do you mean?
This is the point where you make people cry.
Oh,
Bobby, get the onions.
Well, I guess just all happened so fast. Yesterday, I was a little girl vomiting in a bucket. And now, look at me. Why did I care so much about how people felt? All the things I didn't do, the places I never went, the Asian foods I never got to try. It's all over, and I feel like it didn't really begin. How's that? I remember I used to have this old dog. His name was Baxter. He was a basset hound. But dogs don't age the same way humans do. So by the time I was 14, he was slow and sluggish. I remember my dad told me that the vet said he had a tumor. So we took Baxter out to the fields. My dad handed me the gun. He said, "It's your dog. You gotta do it." And I remember I looked at him and I just thought, oh, Baxter, I love you. And did he know that this was his last day and this was the last field he'd ever sniff? And he was my best friend. I raised the gun over my shoulder. I'm sorry, best friend. I'm sorry. I just wish I could have seen him one last time, you know?
That can be arranged.
Baxter!
I'm sorry. That's how you make people cry at the end of a show. And that brings us to the end of our little tale. And as most great stories, it started with obese Norwegians and ended with a ghost dog.
You are an awful storyteller.
And you're a type of nuclear bomb.
Again? Really?
Now, you're probably wondering, why did I spin you that yarn just now? Well, I have a confession to make. I am not just some generic old man. I am, pause for effect. Humbletown the First. Yes, that's me.
This is absurd! Humbolton was a Civil War veteran. It's 2019. It would be medically impossible for him to be alive.
That is because I discovered the secret of immortality.
Which is?
You're gonna like this. Gluten. I didn't believe it at first, but it was.
This is absurd. And it's made even more absurd by the fact that I am not just some young generic female narrator. I am a direct descendant of the Humbolton line. So, if you're Humbolton the First, that would make you my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather.
Nice to meet you.
Grandpa!
Hey, that's great-great-great-great-great-grandpa to you.
Great-great-great-great-great-grandpa! You smell. Well, I think it's time we tie a bow on this story, because Humbolton and I have a century and a half of catching up to do.
Indeed we do, young lady. Indeed we do.
So, from all of us in our little town of yours, we say to you,
Good night!